Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On this occasion, we will explain about the job of theater production personnel, costume designer. The group members are Wafiq Azizah, Alivia Saudia Aqsha, and me, Englia di Septi. And the first material will be explained by me. Costume designer. Who is costume designer? A costume designer is a person who designs costume for a film, stage production, or television shows. The role of costume designer to create the characters' outfits or costumes and balance the scenes with textures and color and etc. The costume designer works alongside the director, scenic, lighting designer, sound designer, and the other creative personnel. The costume designer may also collaborate with hairstylists, wig master, or makeup artist. In European theater, the role is different, as the theater designer usually designs both costume and scenic elements. Designers typically seek to enhance a character's personality and to create an evolving plot of color, changing social status, or period through the visual design of garments and accessories. They may distort or enhance the body within the boundaries of the director's vision. The designer must ensure that the designs let the actor move as the role requires. The actor must execute the director's blocking of the production without damaging the garments. Garments must be durable and washable, especially for plays and extended runs or films with near real-time pacing, which means that most costumes will not change between scenes, but whose principal photography phase may stretch across several weeks. Professional costume designers generally fall into three types. The first one is freelance designers. Freelance designers are hired for a specific production by a film, theater, dance, or opera company. A freelancer is traditionally paid in 3 installments: upon hire, on delivery of final renderings, and opening night of the production. Freelancers are not obligated to any exclusivity in what projects they work on and may design for several productions hired by a specific theater, dance, or opera company for an extended series of productions. This can be as short as a summer stock contract or maybe for many years. The second one is residential designers. A residential designer's contract may limit the amounts of freelance work they are allowed to accept. Unlike the freelancer, a residential designer is consistently on location at the theater, at hand to work with costume studio and other collaborators. Residential designers tend to be more established than stretch freelancers, but this is not always the case. The third one is academic designer. An academic designer is one who holds professorship at a school. A designer is primarily an instructor, but may also act as a residential designer to varying degrees. They are often free to freelance as the schedule allows. In the past, professors of costume design were mostly experienced professionals that may or may not have had formal postgraduate education, but it has now become increasingly common to require a professor to have at least a Master of Fine Arts in order to teach. Both residential and academic designers are generally also required to act as shop master or mistress of an on-site costume shop, in addition to designing productions. In a resident theater, there is almost always a shop staff of stretchers, drapers, cutters, and craft artisans. In an academic environment, the shop staff is generally students who are learning about costume design and construction. Most universities require costume design students to work a specified number of hours in the shop as part of their course work.
Customer, who is that? Customer is the person who is responsible for the constructions of the costume, especially the patterns. In addition, the customer is a member of the customs or wardrobe teams that works to make assemble costume based on the requirements of the costume designs. So the customer works as someone who makes clothes patterns that have been designed and set by a custom designer. He creates patterns for clothes that are suitable for actors and following the directions of a custom designs. Besides, this customer is also responsible for making wigs, which the actor will use on stage and when performing. What does the customer do? Make pattern drafting using the computer-aided designs and traditional hand drawing methods, and also create a new patterns template based on a drawing and adjust existing patterns and other jobs such as fabric cutting, draping, making the millinery, and the last wig making. Do customer work alone? No, it works with mechanics to make up sample garments based on the original patterns, and it also works with the designer and garment technologists to make further changes and produce the final patterns. Master steamers. Who is that? The person who executes the constructions of the customs is also the member of wardrobe department who operates sewing machines and carries out other sewing tasks. What does master seamer do? This is a duty and responsibility, tailoring costumes that have been determined by the costume designers based on the scenes and the appearance of the actors, and the other jobs such as fitting costume onto the performers, altering or mending the costumes, and the last looking after costume between scenes.
A costume crew is the person who assists the director and production assistant with all aspects of costuming the show. This may involve cleaning and organizing in the costume storage area, assisting with moving costumes in and out of the storage area for each show. We can see a costume crew divided into three groups. The first one is Student Costume Designer or SCD. The S The student costume designer responsibilities begins with reading the script and personal research of period needed, written or rudimentary costume sketch. Most frequently consult with the costume designer. The second one is dresser or wardrobe assistant. Is an impor- is an unimportant position for the smooth running of the production and can be done by someone at any experience level. Usually 2 or 3 wardrobe persons are needed per production, working under the supervision of the costume designer. During the production, they assist actors in changing costume, keeping track of costume piece, makeup, and occasional photo calls. The dresser or wardrobe crew is also responsible for maintaining and cleaning the costume after each performance. Any additional responsibilities are assigned by the costume designer. The third one is costume manager. The responsibilities is putting a minimum of 4 hours per week in the costume shop. Must collaborate with the costume designer or coordinator and the rest of the costume crew to set up a weekly working schedule. Each crew member is responsible for adhering to this schedule. At this is grade and missing shop hours can result in a lower grade. In charge of restocking any costumes or costume piece left over from previous shows as well as any costume that have been pulled and no longer needed. Okay, the last slide is what are their responsibilities? First, in charge of restocking any costume or costume piece left over from previous shows as well as any costume that have been pulled and no longer need. Second, work with costume designer or coordinator, that's the stage manager to create a costume plot. Third, restocking the costume emergency kits for either side of the stage at least 1 week before stage week. The list of the items necessary for the kits is listed under costume emergency kit in this handbook. And the last one, make a notes of any alternation or repairs that need to be completed during the run of the show. Okay, that's all from our presentation. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.